Well, hello. Hi, Dan, Jackie. What do you do when things go wrong, when things go terribly wrong in your family, in your business, and in your relationship? Well, most people want to be in charge. They want to be the captain of their ship. They want to be in charge until it comes to the consequences. Then everybody kind of just backs away and nobody wants to be involved because now there's slings and there's arrows and there's other people's opinions and the old backstabbing, the knife in the back, et tu, Brute, And so nobody wants those consequences because that's a part of leadership. That's what we want to talk about today in extreme ownership. So what do you do, Jackie, when things go awry? I always wanted to use that word, even though it's not spelled appropriately. But what do you do when things go awry in your family, in your business, in your relationships?
I like to blame. I'm just being honest.
Well, there's honesty and there's transparency at its best. Well, we want to help families with develop a multi-generational vision, and that doesn't happen without extreme ownership.
Right.
And the first thing we want to talk about is the blame game.
Right. I think it is very easy to blame, and I was kind of sort of being serious a while ago when I said I blame because we don't want to be wrong. And we think we do everything right, and it's a very, very humbling experience when you have to say and you have to admit and step back and really think about it and say, hey guys, I apologize. I was wrong here. How can we move forward? And I think that's the first step, is just taking ownership of it, knowing that maybe you did something wrong, and we all do things wrong, and then being able to move forward.
Yeah, see, when things are going wrong in your family and in your business and your relationships, that typically means no one's taking ownership. There's nobody in charge. Right. So the first step is to eliminate the blame game. See, there's an old saying that says, the buck stops here. See, blame is reserved. Blame is reserved for the top of the food chain. Whoever the head of household is, whoever the head of the team is, whoever the head of the business is, that blame belongs on them. And so the question is, are you that head? Are you the head of that team? Are you the leader of that team?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can be the mom, you can be the dad, you can be the business owner, you can be the employee who has a small team within your workplace. I mean, I like to tell people, Dan likes to tell people, we are all leaders, whether we think we are or we don't think we are. We are in some aspect, in all areas of our life, we are leaders. And as a leader, we want to take responsibility for putting forth the right message from the correct heart.
Absolutely.
Right.
And so as a leader, the blame is all yours. Now, why? Why do we want to take that blame? Why do we want to take that extreme ownership? Well, quite simply because it's going to make you and me and maybe even Jackie better. See, there's also another old saying that says, don't wish your circumstances were easy. Wish that you were better.
Yeah.
And so what happens, Jackie, when you take ownership and when you take the blame as far as your communication?
Well, okay, I'll be honest. First of all, it's difficult. It is difficult to take that blame upon yourself, even when perhaps there were a lot of people involved. As the leader and as the head of your household, as the mom, as the dad, as the leader, we still have that responsibility. And when we take responsibility, when I take responsibility, it always makes me feel better. It's almost like a burden has been lifted. And because I have admitted that, then it's something that then all of a sudden a door opens and help comes in. That helps me be that better person because I was willing to give up probably pride and saying, hey, I was wrong here. Can we do better?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. Makes perfect sense. And so that spirit of humility does open up the door for yourself. It also models that for your family, for your team. And then it also, in so doing that, it helps you with your communication, because now you want to make sure that your communication is crystal clear so you position your family for success. You know, one of the things I used to I used to have a bad habit of, because I was in business mode, was when I wanted my kids to do something, I would go knock on the door and I'd tell them what I wanted to do and I'd walk away. And Jackie, what would you tell me?
I don't know. I probably said a lot of things. I probably said, stop knocking on the door. Because we got to, really as leaders, we have to lead, that we want our children and we want our team members to follow us. And they're not going to follow us if we're constantly telling them what to do and if we're constantly managing them. And when we are in manager mode, we want to manage people, but we want people to follow us.
Yeah, and in following, that communication has to be clear, because that positions them successfully to be able to do what you expect of them. And also training will equip them to be successful in what it is that they need to do. The last thing I will tell you is taking that ownership, taking the blame, taking the slings and the arrows, being better at your communication. It's also going to provide cover for your family and for your team members, so they can grow, so they can fail. See, failure is such a negative connotation in our societies today, but in reality, there is no growth without failure. So that gives them the opportunity to learn and grow. When you're covering and you're taking the ownership and you're taking the blame and you're being clear in your communication, it gives them the opportunity to grow in those areas, does it not?
Right. And really, there's nothing more awesome and more beautiful than seeing your children grow because of their mistakes, or seeing your team members grow because they are figuring things out on their own. And if we're constantly at them and managing them, then we are not leading.
We're managing.
We're managing.
We're managing, like she said earlier, and it doesn't model ownership. So again, the extreme ownership, it's extreme. It's extreme. It means you're putting yourself out there and you're sacrificing yourself for the will of for the betterment of the family and for the betterment of your team. And I'm telling you, they will both, family or team, they're both going to experience wonderful, wonderful growth when they have somebody taking that extreme ownership.
Right. So join us on our journey as we impact families for a multi-generational vision. If you have no idea what this means, it's an awesome thing. We would love to visit with you. We'd love to partner with you. Message us, call us, and let's go on this journey together.
All right, till the next time we talk, Dan
and Jackie.
You guys have a great day.
Bye.